Alyssa Marin from UC Santa Barbara, fresh off of a season where she averaged 12 points, 3.5 assists, and was named a preseason All-Big West first-team member. Alyssa, appreciate you being here. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
So with Alexis gone, I'm assuming you're going to be asked to step into more of a role offensively, a little more of a feature role. How have you kind of adapted to that so far this offseason?
It's honestly been great. What's honestly been really, really nice about it as well is a lot of my teammates have stepped up, and it hasn't felt like too much pressure, or it hasn't felt like I've had to do too much offensively. I feel like a lot of people have picked up the slack of Alexis leaving.
Where has your game individually improved in the offseason?
I feel like being more of a scorer and being comfortable with the ball outside of being point guard, kind of being shooting guard, and being able to find my shot a little bit more rather than just distributing. But yeah, it's honestly grown a lot, especially like in the three-point game and the pull-up game. And yeah.
You guys bring back, I believe, 4 of your top 5 scorers, correct? How important is that kind of continuity in this era of college basketball?
Oh, it's everything. It's very, very fun to play with, especially when you have so many scorers, when you have people on the three-point line who can knock down shots while you drive. It's been very, very fun scrimmaging against each other. It's a little when you're guarding a lot of these shooters, it's hard, but I feel like we've really, really connected, and there's been a cohesiveness with our entire team, especially during these practices right now.
It's nice when you can go into a practice and if the coach says, all right, let's run this play, everybody kind of knows what they're doing already.
Yeah, exactly. And you have these people who can knock down, like I was saying, those shots.
All right, who has impressed you this spring? Who are we going to see a big improvement out of this year?
I would say, again, got to give credit to a lot of my teammates for stepping up, but I would be very, very excited to see Laurel Rockwood step up. A lot of our post players have been doing a phenomenal job during practices. Flora Goen, she's been absolutely amazing. Kayla Williams, they've really, really stepped up in the post game, which has been everything for us, rebounding, scoring. So definitely this year we'll be looking inside because we have so much talent in there. Guards-wise, we've had a really, really strong basis in the guards game. Just how hard everyone plays, and honestly, like, they're a very, very selfless group. So I would say that a lot of these girls are just going to be really, really exciting to watch.
All right, last thing I got for you. If we look up in February and the Gauchos are sitting there in first or second place competing for a Big West regular season title, what's the most important thing that has to happen in the 6 months until then?
I would say that one of our biggest things is just keeping our values throughout the entire season and trusting each other. We've talked about it a lot as a team, and we understand that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs that comes with season, and just being able to trust the process, trust the coaches, trust each other is going to be one of the biggest things. And I already see it during these practices. I mean, I feel like we all can talk to each other, but all are able to play with each other and feed off of each other, and just our energy as a whole is something that I feel like I haven't really seen in a lot of these teams, and this year I'm super excited.
Well, Alyssa, congratulations on being named preseason first team All-Big West. Sumaya Sigapong, the reigning Big West freshman of the year. Sumaya, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So you had a great first season in college. Why were you able to transition and adjust to the college level so well?
I think my high school team really prepared me well. We were one of the top high schools, and we played, top competition all over the country. So Coach Terry Bamford at Illinois Country Day really prepared me well. And then the coaches here, the staff here at UCSD just really gave me confidence, and that allowed me to just come out here and just play my game right away.
There's a saying in hoop circles that the best thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores. So you averaged 14 points per game last season, a couple boards, a couple assists. Where have you improved as a player? What's the next step for you?
I think I've been focusing a lot on my three-point shot. My percentage wasn't really where I wanted it at last year, so I just really working on that and trying to get that as consistent as possible. And then also really focusing on facilitating a little bit more, finding open teammates, and setting everyone else up for success on the court.
I see the sun is shining out there behind you. How difficult is it to focus on being a college athlete when you are living in San Diego?
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice out here for sure. Like, in the summer we'd have our workouts from, I don't know, 12 to 3, and then, we'd go hang out at the beach for a little bit. So it's definitely an awesome experience being out here.
Yeah, it's a tough life. Who on the team has impressed you the most this offseason?
Oh, shoot. Okay. I think Erin Condren, also my year, she's a sophomore. I think she's improved a lot this offseason. Really got strong and looking more comfortable down in the post. And she's someone I'm definitely going to be looking for, once we start play. And then also some new transfers. Sabrina Ma, she's one of the best shooters, I think. She's going to help us a lot this year. And then Kiana Spriggs, she's a transfer from CSUN. Also a big body down low, really has really good presence in the post. Also going to help us a lot out this year.
In the transfer portal era, when you win an award like Big West Freshman of the Year, I know you're probably hear from some other schools, hear from some other programs. That turns heads. People get attention at something like that. Why are you back at UCSD? What about that program, the staff, the culture there has you back on that campus?
I think kind of what I mentioned earlier, just the trust that the coaching staff has in me, and also my teammates. The trust that they have in me just gives me the confidence, knowing that they have my back. I make mistakes and play well. I know that they always have my back. This just feels like the right fit for me.
So this is the last one I got for you. What has to happen if we were to look up in February and the Tritons are right there, first, second place, competing for a Big West regular season title?
Yeah, that's definitely the place we want to be in. Our first year officially in Division I, able to be in the postseason. So that's what we got our eyes set on. That's what we've been working on. We're going to get there. We're going to get it done, and we're just going to keep working towards that goal.
All right, well, listen, Ms. May, I appreciate you being here. Congratulations on being named preseason first team All-Big West. Now you got to go out there and do it and be named postseason first team All-Big West. We'll be back with more. Keontae Jones from CSUN, fresh off a season where he averaged 11 points and 7 rebounds. And Justin Holm, coming off a year for UC Irvine, where he averaged just under 13 points per game and was named second team All-League. Both of you guys were named preseason All-Big West first team. So first and foremost, congratulations on that achievement. Justin, I want to start off with you here, man. Last season, you guys won the league. The season ended with a semifinals loss in the All-Big West tournament. How do you use that as motivation heading into the summer?
In my career here at Irvine, this will be my 5th year playing, but I have yet to go to the big dance. March Madness that's my only goal. Like, honestly, I'm not really worried about the individual accolades. It's a team sport. So at the end of the day, we've always been trying to get to this tournament. So that's just where my head's at.
Deontay, you're on a team that has 8 transfers coming into the program, a couple of freshmen coming into the program, and the only other returning that played minutes only played 12 games last year. How has that kind of been as the 5th year senior, as the guy that's been in the program for a couple years? How have you kind of taken on that leadership?
Really just listening to my coaches, following the role, and just talking to the players, letting them know that, this is my last year, and I'm just trying to work and win. So just communication and getting along as a team is really a big part.
Justin, this is your 6th season, I believe, at UC Irvine. Is the reason you're still there because it looks so beautiful? That weather looks a lot like where I am right now.
Yeah, I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Not many people know about that place, but that's in the Midwest. It snows 6 months out of the year. Really cold. So yeah, when UCI started recruiting me, I was like, at California school, I was like, as soon as they offer me, I'm all in. Like, I'm trying to get out of here. And it's a hard place to leave. It's very family oriented. It's a nice quiet spot, no danger, no problems out here really. They take care of me, so the least I can do is repay my loyalty.
Yeah, I actually was just in Sioux Falls yesterday for some media day, and
No kidding.
it was 45 degrees, so I understand head to the West Coast.
Yeah, it's about to start getting real cold out there.
So Keontae, you're also from the Midwest. You're a Wisconsin kid. You've kind of had a little bit more of a circuitous path to being named a preseason All-Big West player. Just kind of take me through what it means to, after going through a couple JUCOs and then ending up at CSUN, what it means to finally be able to kind of have a year where you could step forward and do this.
It feels good. Really, just my path at Mineral area, just usually playing behind like older players and just seniors and just learning from them. So the path here has been great, just to follow behind them. And when I got to CSUN, still doing the same, kind of playing behind Deshaun and Bostic really helped me like grow more as a person too, but on the court also. So just having this year to show my true talent and show where I belong in this conference, it feels good.
I want both of you guys to answer this. We'll start with Keontae. Where have you improved in the offseason, and what is the one thing that you want to be better at this year?
Improving on just shooting the ball, honestly. Just getting my shot off a lot more and shooting it with confidence. I worked on a lot of dribbling, so just really getting downhill and shooting off the dribble is a big thing I want to work on and improve.
Justin?
For me, it was probably my strength in the weight room. Put on a little more mass. And also, I'm focused on. I was recruited as a point guard. That's what I was like my first 2-3 years here, and then they asked me to take on more of like a shooting guard role. So I've just been trying to create new ways to score, I guess. There's always new ways to score.
Let's end with this. We're going to have a little bit of a fun one. Keontae, I want your scouting report on Justin, and then Justin, I want your scouting report on Keontae.
Okay, I got. You cut your hair, man?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Scouting report. I'll say strong getting downhill. Likes the floats in the paint. Can shoot, catch and shoot, and very crafty. So stay in front.
Justin, give me Keontae's scouting report.
Very high level athlete. Just gotta keep him off the boards, slasher, playmaker, and the main thing is do not play around with the ball bro, because he's long, athletic, steals, just making plays.
Well, listen, guys,
Playmaker.
congratulations on being named preseason All-Big West first team. Best of luck this season, and I need both you guys to at least have one big game. Go pull off an upset, go do something incredible, so we can get you guys on field at 68 after dark at some point this season. Tova Sable coming off of a second-team All-Big West performance last season, preseason first-team All-Big West. Tova, you bring back a number of starters from last season. What is the value of continuity for the program?
Always super important and great having a bunch of returners, chemistry. We know where we're on the court, we're working hard, and we know each other. We also have 2 big freshmen coming in and a newcomer, and yeah, the chemistry is there.
Who's coming back? Which of the girls has impressed you so far in the fall practices?
I would say Mozzie Harris, always working really hard, shooting great. Vic Baker, she's looking great, coming back from an injury. Megan Norris is scoring under the basket. We're all just working really hard. So yeah, we're looking good.
So you are Swedish. What made you decide to go the college basketball route? Like, how did you end up? You started at Penn State. How did you end up going to Penn State?
The recruiting process looks a little different when you come from Europe. I didn't know much about the recruiting process at all, but I always had a dream coming to the U.S. to play. So I was just happy when I got the chance.
are a lot of Europeans that are kind of following in your footsteps right now, men and women. What would your advice be to somebody that is coming to the United States from Europe to help them with the transition, get used to life, get used to playing a new style of basketball? What would your advice be for them?
My advice would be to learn from your teammates, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This style of play is faster, it's tougher. Be ready to adapt, but work hard always. You'll be just fine.
What's the one thing you miss most from back in Sweden that you can't get out there in California?
My family and friends always.
That's the easy answer, right?
Yeah.
What have you worked on individually this offseason? Like, where are we going to see an improvement in your game?
I'm trying to add different options scoring-wise. I want to be more versatile, so I've been working on that a lot.
If we look up in mid-February and UC Davis is sitting there competing for first place, came out of first place, whatever it is, competing for a Big West regular season title, what's the one thing that has to happen with your team to make that come to fruition?
I think we have a great start already. I was talking about the chemistry before. We just keep building on that, getting things to click. Again, work hard always. I think that's the recipe for success.
You transferred from Penn State to UC Davis after your sophomore season. If you were to, and you've had success doing it, if you were to give advice to other girls that were putting their name in the portal and looking to make a move to a new destination, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that there's a reason that you put your name in the portal, and it's brave to do so. Look for good people, always. It's the people who make the experience, always.
Tova, congratulations on being named preseason first team All-Big West, but preseason doesn't mean anything. We need to see it at the end of the season, right? Best of luck this year. Hope you have all the success in the world. The reigning Big West Player of the Year, the reigning MVP of the Big West Tournament, and the leading scorer from the reigning Big West Tournament champions, Deja Lee. Deja, how do you top that?
Accolades aren't really a thing for me. It's really just what I can do to best support my team, and whatever happens, that happens. But, we'll see what happens this year.
So your growth as a player over the years has been fun to watch. You were a freshman as a freshman, essentially. You kind of grew up a little bit, became an honorable mention All-League player as a sophomore, and then as a junior, you were the Big West Player of the Year. So did you surprise yourself with this kind of development and this growth as a player?
I would say I was faced with a lot of setbacks early on in my freshman year, and that was more because of high school and where I didn't get to play my senior year. And so going into college, basically after playing grade 11 basketball, was a huge transition for me. And so I would say my freshman year is more like a reset year of kind of where I stand in terms of what I can do, what I think I can do, my abilities. And so a lot of that was just kind of finding myself again as a player, and so letting that grow throughout the years.
Well, you have certainly found yourself as a player. Where are we going to see your development this year? What have you kind of worked on during the offseason?
Yeah, my biggest goal actually is my leadership, and just because I'm a senior this year, one of the things that I'm really looking to do more is use my voice in addition to what I can do on the court. And so just being a leader, directing my teammates, I know the offenses, I know the defenses, and continuing to use that as a standard to continue to help us win. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're kind of the old head now. So how has that kind of changed your perspective when it comes to the way that you operate within the locker room within that team?
Yeah, I think there's no more surprises in terms of what season can hold. We've kind of seen everything, especially on our team, from injuries to whatnot. And so I think all of that has kind of wrapped up my experience and kind of guiding the newcomers onto that, even just with the additional seniors, everyone that's already been here, us kind of working together and just making sure that we learn from those experiences and then kind of grow through those with the ones that are new this year. So
you lost some pieces. You guys had some players graduate this offseason. Who's stepped up? Who's impressed you? Who's going to surprise Big West basketball fans?
Honestly, I think everybody has kind of found their role in terms of the people that were injured and are coming back, and with newcomers that are kind of surprising us in terms of what they can do. I think
offensively now, in addition to our defense, because our defense has kind of been our anchor the past couple of years in terms of generating that offense. And so I think one thing that I guess people should be kind of like expecting to see is that defensive side, but then the offensive side is probably just as strong or even better in terms of how we can use that. So.
All right, last thing I got for you. What is the one thing that has to happen for UC Irvine to be back in the NCAA tournament in March?
Good question. I would say the one thing that has to happen is our tenacity. When things don't go well in terms of whether shots aren't dropping or just the offensive is kind of not necessarily clicking the way we want. Honestly, like our biggest thing is the effort that we put into in terms of not letting the team score, not letting them cross half for a certain period of time. Those kind of standards that we set for ourselves will serve us well towards March. And so hopefully we can get there after and get into postseason too. So.
Well, she's Deja Lee, the reigning Big West Player of the Year. Best of luck this season. Look forward to watching how you guys progress this year to defend your Big West Tournament Championship. We'll be back with more from Big West Media Day coming up next. T.Y. Johnson from UC Davis, a second-team All-Big West performer last season and a preseason first-team All-Big West member. Appreciate you being here, T.Y. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today.
So last season probably didn't end the way you wanted, but it's hard to argue with a season where you win 20 games and you finish top 3 in your league. But now that Elijah's gone, how are you kind of adjusting to being the face of the team, the leader in the locker room, the guy that everyone's going to be looking towards?
Keeping it the same routine that we had last year. I was one of the older guys, returning with Pepper. That was my running mate, and I felt like I left off a good hand that he held for me and his legacy here that's going to live on forever at UC Davis. So I just feel like my leadership role has just, been getting better each and every day. We got 6, 7 transfers and new guys. So just basically just getting them acclimated to the system and just teaching them, our ways and our culture and how we carry ourselves here at UC Davis. And I know it's going to be, a lot to fulfill in that stepping up playmaking leadership role, but it's nothing that, I can't handle returning from the season I just had last year.
So you go from being, I don't want to say the sidekick because that feels too weak, but you go next to one of the best players that we've seen in the Big West in a long time. And now you're the first name on the scouting report. Now you're the guy that's going to get the other team's best defender every single night. How are you preparing for that this fall?
Well, I'll just start by just, saying my work. Just, being uncomfortable and just being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And I know I'm going to see that each and every night. And I know our coaches are going to make adjustments. I'm going to make adjustments, just giving a real good feel for the game. And I just feel like I'm just going to, not always force it. I just let the game come to me. So no matter if that's with my scoring, playmaking, or just defense, I'll just, continue to watch film and just be ready for whatever's going to be thrown at me.
What's been the one thing you've kind of focused on the most individually in your game in terms of development?
Just my consistency. Just being, available for the guys here. And, just stepping up with my leadership role, I would say. I feel like my consistency, just being in the gym, getting a lot of reps because, I have a bigger role that I have to fulfill this year. And I know I'm going to have to, make a lot of shots. Teams are going to force me, to my weakness, but I have, sat down and had a lot of conversations with the coaches, so we know a lot of things that we worked on this offseason. I'm going to be able to show for this upcoming year.
You guys got a lot of points to replace this year. You mentioned you got a bunch of transfers coming in. Who's impressed you? Who do we need to take note of?
I'll probably say Carl. Transfer from Central Arkansas. Like he's one of those, like Coach Les always say, he's one of those like microwave guys. Like he can get it going at any time, and that's someone that's scary, that can help us at any night when I'm not going. He can get it going. And then I'll say Niels Cooper, transfer from Pepperdine. He has really developed here from the summer up to now. These guys are putting in a lot of extra work and a lot of extra reps. They're getting up each and every day. So I feel like we have a lot of people and a lot of keys. And I also say Leo DeBrew. He can really shoot the ball. We had like Kane, we had a couple shooters last year, but I feel like a lot of these guys will help replace a lot of the points that we're going to need this year.
You heard it here first. Watch out for everybody on UC Davis, according to T.Y. Johnson. Let's end it with this, right? You're a 6'3" senior. You put up big numbers on a good team, right? You can play on the ball, you can play off the ball. You entered the portal, and I know you were hearing from other teams. I know you were hearing from other people, whether it was directly, indirectly, through the back channels, however that kind of works. You're back at UC Davis. Why?
I would just say the coaching staff really all less in just his development, his trust, and the position that he put me in. And I also say I played myself into this role. When he first recruited me, when I entered the transfer portal after my freshman year, he just laid out the platform and the vision he had for me and how I can help make the team, help make Davis better. And I feel like everything up until that point has just been straightforward, and the connections and the relationship that I have with my teammates and the coaching staff and just the whole community of UC Davis just made me just feel like this is home and this is somewhere I want to be. And I know I can make a lot of heads turn this year, and I know I have some guys behind me who can do the same thing. So that's why it was really the main reason why I stayed. And I feel like we have unfinished business from what we had happen last March. So just trying to return that legacy and keep it going.
What would your advice be? You entered the portal and found success with the transfer. Then you entered the portal again after that success and decided not to transfer. What would your advice be for other players that are maybe where you were as a freshman, that are putting their name in and trying to figure out what their next step is going to be and how they can kind of navigate the world of college basketball?
What I'll say is find a place where you're wanted. Like it's a lot of talented players out here, but find a place where you're wanted and you're valued, not just as a basketball player, but as a human being. Because we're still humans at the end of the day, and we still have to live our lives like other people. And I feel like when you find that one spot, make it truly feel like it's your second home before it becomes that first. And I feel like that's what the whole Davis community has done ever since, I stepped foot on this campus on my visit up until this point. Like, it's gonna always be, it's like now since the NIL thing is so crazy, I would say like it's not about the money. Like if you want it and you can play and you can compete with any talented player, go where you're valued and wanted. That's what I would say.
Well said, T.Y. Great words. Appreciate you being here. Best of luck this season. Congratulations on being named first team preseason All-Big West. Now we need you to be first team postseason All-Big West and get that done. Best of luck this season, man. We'll be back with more from Big West Media Day. Aniwa Tate Jones from UC San Diego, the reigning newcomer of the year in the Big West and a preseason first team All-Big West member after averaging 13.8 points per game last season for the Titans. His first year at D1. So I want to ask you this, Aniwa. The first 3 years you spent at D2, how did that prepare you for that adjustment stepping up to the Division I?
I think it prepared me really well. The Pac West where I was playing in, like the level was, we have a lot of Division I bounce back, so it's like I'm playing against Division I players every night, and the school that I was at, Hilo, I was very fortunate for them to provide and give me a platform to do what I do, so I think it prepared me very well.
So you're from New Zealand, if people can't tell by the accent. How'd you end up making it from there to Hawaii? Like, take me through that recruiting process.
So I actually committed really late. So this was when COVID was going on. So I played a year at prep school in Ohio, Cleveland at Spire Academy. And I really didn't have no college interest, no college offers. So I was just gonna stay back in New Zealand and play pro. And then it wasn't until August, I think early August, Coach Iona, he had messaged my coach back home, Kenny Mack, and he just said he's taking this job at Hilo and he's got a spot for me. And we jumped on it right away and forever grateful, and the rest is history.
Yeah, when someone says they're going to let you play basketball in college in Hawaii, generally speaking, you probably want to say yes to that, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. As soon as I heard it was in Hawaii, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. I have to.
So you guys lost a couple players from last season, specifically Bryce Pope. But I think it was 6 or 7 guys had departed. How do you guys replace the production that you lost from some of those guys?
I think we have a good core group coming back. We have Tyler coming back, Hayden, and myself, and then we also bring in like some really good transfers. So I think we're looking really good. Coaches are really happy with us. I mean, players like out there, I think we're going to be really good. So we're all excited and we're looking forward to kicking off in a few weeks.
So let's talk about those transfers. You have 5 coming into the program, I believe. 3 of them are from the Division II level, which you have some experience with. Who's going to impress us? Who is going to be surprised, or who is going to surprise the fans in the Big West when they see him play? Talk to your teammates, man. Gas them up.
Honestly, I think everyone, like, we got a great group coming in. We got at the bigs, we got Milos and Gordon. They can really shoot the ball. They're really good. We got Chris Howell, Justin. Who else is there? I mean, we just got a really good group. Maximo, yep, from D2. We just got Viola, actually, same conference as me. So I'm just really excited. We got a great group of guys coming in. We got a great returning group. We're going to be really good this year.
Where's your game taking a step forward? What have you added this offseason?
My game, I just like being like one of the returners. I just focus on being a leader, like trying to get the new guys up to speed. And personally, just trying to get my shooting up, just working on my shot, being a confident shooter. But yeah, I'm just trying to lead from the front and bring the new guys along with us, and yeah, just grow and help them lead in.
So here's the last one I got for you. Everybody knows about Steven Adams, right? He's like the famous face of New Zealand basketball right now, at least for people in America. Give me your all-time New Zealand starting 5. Like, who are the best players that maybe some people don't know about that came out of that country?
Man, you put me on the spot with this one. This is a tough
Like,
question.
who do you look up? Let's do it like this. Who do you look up to?
Well, honestly, there's only like one guy who I look up to, and it's Kenny McFadden. He's actually American, but he played in New Zealand for like 20 years. He played for the Saints. He was actually my coach. So he's someone that I really look up to. But coming from New Zealand, to give you a 5, I'll probably say Steven Adams at 5, of course.
Gotcha.
Then we go Kirk Penny. He played in the league for a little bit. He went to Wisconsin, I think. Kirk Penny, and then we got. Shout out my boy Shea Lee. We're going to go Ruben Tarangi. And then last one, we're going to go Tom Abercrombie. That's my 5 right there.
Fun fact about Kirk.
Sorry to anyone that I missed. Sorry to anyone that I missed.
yeah. You're playing a dangerous game there. Fun fact about Kirk Penny. Tony Bennett credits him with helping them win the national title for Virginia in 2019 because he taught them how to play this ball screen spread continuity offense. So shout out to Kirk Penny there. Tony Bennett's got to get him a ring. Aniwa, appreciate you being here, man. Best of luck this season. We'll be back with more. Deja Phillips and Lily Wahinakapu from the Hawaii women's basketball team. Both All-Big West performers last season and both preseason first-team All-Big West picks this year. You guys won the regular season last year, but you got picked off in the league tournament title game. Lily, how does that kind of motivate you heading into this season?
We just want to, as a team, get back to the finals and win another championship. So, yeah, it's very motivating, and with new pieces coming in, we're really excited.
Deja, you guys had won the previous 2 Big West tournaments. You've been to the previous 2 NCAA tournaments. Is there a level of expectation at Hawaii that you guys win? Is this what you do? You win championships? You cut down nets?
Yes, we practice hard and we go at each other every day in practice. And I think that is what helps us pay off the championship and cutting down those nets.
You guys bring back your top 5 scorers from last year. The continuity in college basketball in 2024 is it's so important. What does that mean for you guys to know that you have all of these players coming back and you're able to kind of put this team together, knowing what each other can do? Deja, why don't you go first?
Chemistry, having 5 seniors come back, and knowing like how how we play together and everything, I think it's more so chemistry that's gonna really dictate wins and losses this year for us.
You agree, Lily?
Yeah, and we are seniors now and we have a lot of experience under our belt, so I think that's very helpful. And like we have a lot of coaches, like including us teammates for our younger players, so I think it would be easier to progress throughout the season.
All right. You guys have been on the same team for a while. You said you're seniors. You know each other well. Deja, I want you to give a scouting report for Lily, and Lily, I want your scouting report on Deja.
Okay. Close Lily out warm. Make her hit one behind the screen first before you start going over the screen on her. Just contain her. I mean, don't force her one way or another. Just kind of play her straight up. That's really all you can do.
Yeah, just give them.
Lily, give me the scouting report.
Gotta contain Deja. Don't let her get downhill. Try not to foul. Gotta make her hit some before you close out high. So you gotta pull up if you're sagging off in the paint.
Who on your team has impressed you the most this offseason? Who's gotten better?
Gotten better or new players?
Both, all the above. Who have you seen in kind of these fall practices where you're like, oh wow, look at that?
Victoria, our big man, Victoria. She's our freshman.
Yeah, I think she'll be very exciting to see this upcoming season, just because her height and her athletic ability, and she actually works hard and she gets extra work in when it's not practice. Not to say that our other freshmen don't, but everyone does.
I was gonna say you just threw everybody else under the bus.
No.
All right, last thing I got for you guys. I want you both to answer. What needs to happen this season for you guys to repeat as regular season champs and get back to the NCAA tournament? Lily, why don't you take it first?
Not staying complacent, getting better every day, pushing each other every day.
I think pushing through adversity and just kind of showing that grit and showing that fight every time we come out and play.
Right. Well, Lily, Deja, I appreciate you being here. Congratulations on being acknowledged as preseason first team All-Big West performers, but that doesn't mean nothing. You guys got that season to play. Best of luck this year, and hopefully we'll see you cutting down the nets later on in March. A UC Riverside point guard, Barrington Hargrist, the reigning Big West Freshman of the Year and a preseason Big West first team all-conference member. You can see he's getting ready for practice there. Barrington, appreciate you being here, man.
Man, thank you, Rob. Thank you for having me. I'm happy.
So you guys started last season 8-15, and you finished last season winning 8 of your last 11 games. Where did you see the growth within your program last year?
Just a lot of accountability, guys having to grow up. I mean, for a lot of us, it was our first time really getting those reps, getting like a lot of full fill of college basketball. So it took some time and it took some adjustments, especially for myself, especially for like the young guys like Caleb, Nate Pickens also. I mean, we all just had to sit down, we all had to hunker in and like really come together as a group and really figure out what it was going to take, because all throughout time our vets were telling us and coaches were telling us winning is hard. So we really had to dig deep and like figure out like how we were going to get that done.
So you guys are a bit of a rarity in the world of college basketball in 2024. You had 4 starters that were sophomores or freshmen eligibility-wise that decided to come back to the program. That's not something that always happens at these schools. What is it about UC Riverside and Coach McPile that made you want to come back?
I mean, we're just a family. Like we're really. It was more about like the thoughts of like what we can do and like seeing so much in each other. Like we all grew very close to the point where it was like we wanted to get something done that was special. It wasn't really about I know people are in the transfer portal for reasons that are understandable, but it's also we're trying to build something here. We're trying to build a legacy, and that's where our heart's at, and that's what we're focused on.
All right, I want to talk about you, then we'll talk about the rest of the guys. Where have you improved? Coach said you got to get a little bit more efficient with that jump shot. Have you gotten in the gym? You get some reps on the gun this summer?
Oh yes. I've been straight focusing on shooting, just really trying to like focus on the areas where I can stretch the floor. Also, just like improving my shots in the 2-point range, really trying to become more efficient all around the game, and really just growing to make myself more of a full threat when it comes to just being a scorer when I need to be.
All right, who's made the biggest leap? You got a bunch of guys back. You got a bunch of talent returning. You got continuity in your program. Where have you seen people get better, and who's the guy? Shout somebody out. You got to give a team a
I gotta give a shout out. Can it be a newcomer? Can it be a newcomer?
Whoever you want, man. It's your world.
My new freshman Parker Strauss right here, man. He's been kicking it, man. He's been really just getting everybody in that energy. You know, he's been coming in loud, just hitting shots, you know, pushing everybody. I mean, he's a young guy. He's a young guy. Reminds me of myself last year because he's going to be a redshirt freshman. So he's not really like scared of the thing. He's really just embracing the moment to finally come out here and play. And I've been telling him I love that about him. Like, that's really what you need sometimes. You need to just let it out. When you've been sitting in that cage for a little bit, you got to let it out. You know?
What advice would you give to people that are coming into school this year that are considering whether or not to redshirt? What was the value that you got out of that year?
I mean, like, take it all in because college is special and it's so fast. You know, like there's so many like nuances to the game that you're gonna have to pick up, and sometimes it's hard to do it in that first season. Like that first season when you're really getting into shape and really understanding your opponents and like scout, getting your body rested with school and everything. Like, it's a lot. So sometimes being aware of that and just knowing like I have a program that will believe in me and that will invest in me to be something better in the future, that I don't have to be in a rush. I don't have to start now, but that is where I'm going to finish. And when a program invests and sees that in you and it's a two-way street, then you're gonna start seeing the growth in your game because it's a lot of people investing in it. So that's really where it came to.
All right, you guys got hot at the end of last season. What is the one thing that has to happen for you to continue those winning ways and make a run at a Big West regular season title this year?
I mean, I'd say a lot of just speed, a lot of playing in transition. I mean, this group, we're so my favorite thing about us actually is our defensive side. I gotta say we're a really good defensive group, and I think that that's gonna be the biggest part that's gonna keep us winning those games and keeping us in those games. And then also just getting used to like our offensive stuff because we're obviously gonna figure that stuff out with the new addition and like getting over that bump. But like the defensive end and making sure that we're really trying to be seen as one of the best defensive teams in the Big West.
Appreciate your time, Barrington. Best of luck this season, and we'll be back with more Big West Media Day. Big West Media Day. I am now joined by Stefan Swenson from UC Santa Barbara, who last season was a second-team All-A-Sun player at Stetson. So, Stefan, let's start with this, man. What led to you transferring, and why did you pick Santa Barbara as your destination?
So, obviously, I had 4 great years at Stetson University. I was able to get a business administration bachelor there. I think I've had accomplished a lot of things, and the main goal was to make it to the tournament. And once I accomplished that my senior year, I thought it was a great time for me to just experience new heights and search for a new destination. Obviously, Coach Pasternak was one of the first ones to reach out to me and show me this great place. It's UC Santa Barbara, and when I took the visit, man, it was just amazing, and I felt like that was the next destination for me.
So you go from DeLand, Florida to Santa Barbara, California. You just get tired of the cold weather in Brussels? Is that all?
No, I just follow the palm trees wherever they call me to.
Why did you make the decision to come play college basketball? I mean, there's a lot of players from Europe that kind of make that choice. I'm going to go to a club. I'm going to try to find a way into the professional route. You came to the States to play college basketball. To kind of take me through that process and that decision.
Yeah, so one of my biggest dreams was always to play in America. Obviously, always, dreamed to play in the NBA, and a very simple mindset of mine was the best players were always in America, right? So in my head was like, if I want to become one of the best players, I have to come and play here in America. And I was fortunate at 16 years old to come to America in Florida and play 2 years of high school down south in Fort Lauderdale, where we were able to win the state championship and then obviously get recruited to go play at Stetson University for 4 years. But it was just a very simple mindset for me. It was, if I ever want to reach those, very high heights, I have to be where it's at, where it was born, where, the best competitors are at. So it was a dream.
what would your advice be for other European teenagers that are in making that decision, right? That are kind of deciding, I'm going to play in Europe, I'm going to play in the United States. What would your advice be?
Well, coming in America is just a lot of benefits. Just the mindset, the competition that you get here, the infrastructures, and then one of the big things that you're in Europe is club and school. So it's two different things. And when you're done with school, you have to travel sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour to get to practice. But whereas in America, you have school and basketball is in one area. So you're able to get a degree and play on the highest level you can possibly play, in our age. So it's like, you get the best of both worlds, so why not take it?
Are you a soccer fan?
Big soccer fan, big football guy.
So can I tell you my favorite footballer ever is a Belgian by the name of Moussa Dembele. Do you know who that is?
Moussa Dembele, wow. Yes.
I'm a big Tottenham fan.
Yes.
When they made their run, he was, in my mind, the best midfielder.
Oh man, you know what? Thank you. We appreciate you.
Give me your who's your favorite soccer player?
So my favorite soccer player was actually Neymar from Brazil, but a Belgian player. I love Kevin De Bruyne. We used to love Romelu Lukaku, but he's a tough one. That's a tough one right there.
Forgot how to finish. Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, those are my guys, man. I got a special place in my heart for that Belgian team. So, you spent 4 years at Stetson, and then you made the decision to transfer. What's been the most difficult part of maybe adjusting to a new place, a new program, a new university, a new coaching staff? Like, what's that transition been?
Well, it's a new way. It's just the whole process is just adapting. Obviously I was fortunate to already go through that, which was my biggest move was from Belgium to America, be by myself. So that allowed me to have a lot of experience doing it. And then the other great things I had in my pocket coming in UCSB is that I wasn't a freshman, coming in, from high school. I was, a fifth-year senior coming out with 4 years there at college. So the whole process was just easier for me because I have more years and experience to kind of come in and adapt. And just the biggest thing was when I came here, it's not that I just wanted new things. It's that I really wanted to be part of this culture. I really to be part of Coach Pasternak's players and roster. So it just made it very easy for me to just kind of adapt. But one of the biggest things was just how intense practice are. Everything is just intentional. We don't waste times. We have so much more going on here, and so it keeps you busy. So it's just an everyday process. It's just been lovely.
I see you got that March Madness right there.
Yeah.
How does that experience help you with some of the guys on this UCC ball team? Maybe you're a fifth-year guy. You're stepping into a leadership.
Well, it's one of the biggest things I think is credibility. They understand that I was able to make it happen with my old school, which was unheard of, and so now I have a degree of respect that when I tell guys, hey, listen, this is probably how we should do it. Guys are listening because hey, Steph, you've done it. Just show me the way, which has been pretty cool. But just the respect and. When you come to a new program that's, higher than where they came from, you come with a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent team. There's a lot of potential, so guys sometimes, they can just get away with their talent. And me not coming from a lower major, guys, sometimes, you got to stick to the fundamentals and that will take you far. So just a degree of credibility and respect that allows me to get with the guys.
Well, you knew who Moussa Dembele was, so you got all the credibility in the world. My respect. Appreciate you being here. Congrats on the preseason first team. You got to be postseason first team now. We got high expectations.
Absolutely. The process.